The Pi project will be testing your reactions to certain fears, so please react as you would. Each situation needs to have honest and truthful reactions. I must remind you of our pausing policy. If you wish to pause the experiment at any point in time, please say or write the word traffic light. When these words are shown, I will pause and ask you how you would like to proceed. If the experiment needs to come to an end, do not feel as if you have to continue if you do not want to. I must also remind you of our participation policy. Engagement is welcome, and you are encouraged to respond, interrupt, and ask questions to me at any point in time. While each call does have a set structure, there are no rules to how the experiment will go. As we value free will, human error is allowed, and you do not have to abide by our rules. Before we begin, do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Wonderful. The sound you just heard means that your time has begun. You will have at least 30 minutes to listen to our stories and give your reactions. We will be recounting a series of personal statements. These statements will have options intertwined within them. Please choose your options wisely. Your answers may change the course of the experiment, but do remember, we have limited time. Tomorrow testing takes human nature and free will into account. We will give you our first 3 options. What are you more frightened of? A house without doors, a hall full of mirrors, or a waiting room filled with eyes? Which would you like to choose?
House without doors.
Wonderful. Please close your eyes and focus on my voice. This voice within your ears that crawls into your brain and makes the world as I say it is. And as I weave this web and tell you these stories, the stories of words will become my own. I say the world is real, and so it becomes. You have chosen a house without doors. Personal statement now begins. You awaken in a room, lying on the floor. The surface is cold and hard. As you push yourself onto your feet, your hand scratches against the wood of the floor. Your palms are filled with sharp splinters that itch and twinge with a slight pain. Your eyes dart around the room. It's familiar to you. What is this room? It must be wrong. Where would you like to go? The sitting room or the garden? Please choose one of the options. The sitting room? Perfect. You walk out of the archway, which you think must have had a door on it at some point, as the walls show signs of damage and carelessly broken wood. The hall you walk down is musky. A smell of old books and mold fills your lungs. As you step into yet another room with no doors, a comfy leather chair invites you. As you sit upon it, you pull out a book, and you run your finger along the sharp edge. It's slightly damp, as you tell yourself that this is fine. You don't need to explore any further. This room is warm and inviting. There's a slight tick, tick, tick from a clock that comforts you, letting you know that time is indeed passing. And as you feel your body sink further and further into the leather of the chair, how long have you been here? Minutes, hours, even days perhaps. Do you want to leave?
Yes.
You walk out of the sitting room and down the hallway. Each room looks quite similar to one another. There isn't much difference. Each room also has no doors, again a similar brokenness to each of the walls. The hall you walk down still has that strange smell of rot, but you ignore it as you walk down. Your steps begin to echo. You turn back to look down the hall. How long have you been walking? How far away is the room that you started in? If you were to turn back, would you even recognize which one it is? Could you tell the difference? That doesn't matter now. I assure you, if we keep walking, you will find an exit. Do you trust me, Jack?
Sorry. Sure.
You feel the hit of wet grass beneath your feet. When did you leave the house? You turn to see that the long hallway simply ends, and now you stand beyond it. Are you free? No, of course you aren't. You never were. A house without doors cannot be left as much as it cannot be entered. Press your hand against the sky and feel the rough concrete of the old paint, carelessly splattered against it to simulate what most people might think looks normal, but it is a lie. The sky doesn't move, the clouds are stuck within their shape. The light which one must have thought was shining from a bright yellow sun is clumsily painted with triangles and shades of orange. The light is actually coming from a harsh, artificial light above you. It buzzes and blinks from time to time, casting you into darkness, but only for a moment. What is this place? This man-made dollhouse of horrors? Are you alone here? You can't be. But the walls show no signs of windows, and the corners are bare. Not a camera in sight. You sit upon the astroturf and nod to yourself. Someone will come to me. Someone will check. Clearly, I was put here for a reason. Soon they will come and they will see I have won. I have conquered the house. I have stepped outside. I am free. Except I am not. But they will let me out. I simply have to wait. End of personal statement. How would you rate your experience from a 1 to a 10?
7.
7? Did you think the house was real?
No.
No. All right. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Let us return to the options. You still have a hall full of mirrors and a waiting room full of eyes. Would you like to listen to either of those options?
A waiting room full of eyes.
All right. You have chosen the waiting room. Jack, do you really want to wait longer? Well, I certainly won't force you to stay here, but if you want, I will let you wait. Just be warned that the waiting room is quite sticky and old and gross, and as you walk away from me, you see what I mean. This carpet is disgusting, and as you look upon the waiting room, you see a small cast of characters, but as you try to look upon their faces, you get a sudden glimpse of awkward eye contact, which causes you to squirrel away from them, finding the nearest seat. As you tap your foot and listen to the tick, tick, ticking of yet another clock, you ask why you're here. Why you suddenly find it so hard to remember. I came for my appointment, I was greeted by a less than friendly front desk lady, and now I sit here. Why did I book it? Am I sick? I must be. You try to look at the people and you try to look at the people around you, but you notice that one of them isn't sitting quite right. Their bones are oddly shaped and their face is slightly contorted. And as you stare, their head snaps inhumanly to match your gaze. Quickly, you dart your eyes to another, a girl with strange holes in her cheeks and lips. And as you stare, you can see something crawling through the holes, and you find yourself shuffling back in fear of being infested with whatever resides inside of her. Is this why you're here? Is there something wrong with you in some way? but your eyes are in your face, your teeth within your mouth, and your blood within your veins. You are healthy. You shouldn't be here. You're taking up Dr. Doe's time. Clearly, these people need her more than you do. Would you like to leave, or should you stay?
I'll stay.
You have chosen to stay and wait. You stare at your hands as you wait in the strange room. It's far too hot in here. You try to tap your foot, but it sticks to the ground and makes it hard to move. Doe keeps calling more and more people into her office, one after another. You notice they do not come back out. They simply enter and never leave. You feel a slight dread, wondering what might happen when it is your time to see what she has planned. As these thoughts run through your mind, you look back up to find that there is no one there. You blink and try to stand, but you find again that it is hard to even move. Did every single person just go into Doe's office? And if that is true, then why have they not come out again? Why are you still sitting here? You try to pull your feet, but again they refuse to move. But as you look down at the carpet, you notice that your foot looks strange. There's something latching on to the fiber of your shoe. The fibers of the fabric, the fibers of the carpet have begun to look almost like a hand. Again, you try to pull your foot free, but it is sticky, and as you pull, the fabric seems to grow. The carpet begins to cling to your legs, and soon they turn the favor and begin to yank. To your horror, you begin to sink into the foul-smelling carpet. The harsh blinks. The harsh blinking of the floor begins to consume you. First your feet, then your legs, soon only your head remains above the gloopy carpet. Jack? Jack, Doe calls from her office. Are you done waiting? She says. Are you ready to... Oh. Her eyes land upon you as you sink further and further. What a shame, she remarks, as she simply turns and closes her office door. You see the name tag that has what you assume is her real name. It clatters as the door slams, and soon you sink into the nothingness. Statement ends. How would you rate that experience from a 1 to a 10?
6.
6. Do you have any questions about the content?
No.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Not at this time.
Okay. We are coming up to the last of these 3 options. The only one that is left is a hall full of mirrors. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
The hall full of mirrors. You blink and rub sleep out from your eyes. What were you doing? You look around to see your bathroom, with your reflection staring back at you. Ah, yes, you remember now. You wipe your face and poke your cheeks and gauge whether you are ready to take on the day again. As you lean closer and closer to the mirror, you stare deeply into your own eyes. And as you look, you notice that the pupil tends to dilate and grow with every movement. Watching it with so little control from yourself gives you a slight feeling of... Sorry, my cat is sneezing. Watching it gives you Watching it move with such little control from yourself sends a slight shiver down your spine. Would you like to stare deeply into your own eyes, or would you like to leave?
Yes, it sounds romantic.
You have chosen to stare. Your eyes blur as you look close into the mirror. Your eyes are such a strange thing, aren't they? Some say they are windows to the soul, a gateway to the secrets that one might be hiding. And as you stare, you can feel a strange sensation of helplessness, a sense of losing control. Suddenly, your fingers move. But not yours, your reflections. It lifts the lid of your eye and pulls and yanks at your skin, showing a pink underbelly underneath the lid. You stumble back in surprise. Your reflection smiles back at you with teeth that do not look like your own. It leans forward and softly takes your arm. This feeling is familiar. The touch is warm, and you can tell that it is like your own skin. It causes you to freeze, which gives you no resistance, and you are pulled into the mirror. Glass hands hold you in place, and on the other side of the mirror is cold here. The glass is sharp, pressing into your skin. As you stare out into the world you once knew, they are staring back at you, still holding your wrists. They look frightened. They are trying to mimic your face to try and get all of your emotions down on point. Their eyes dart around the new space like a kitten in a new home. As you watch them gain confidence and try to walk down the hall, they stumble and twist their feet, not used to walking. You become amused. They won't last 5 seconds out there. You won't be in here long. They will come back and they will beg to go back into the security of a mirror. All you have to do is wait. This will be interesting. End of personal statement. How would you rate that experience from a 1 to a 10? 6. Do you have any questions about the content?
Not at this time.
Do you have any questions for me?
Not at this time.
All right. That sound means that our time is up. Would you be willing to answer a questionnaire before the experiment comes to an end?
Yes.
Do you feel as if you spent your time wisely?
Yeah.
Did each of the personal accounts seem real?
No.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, but more so after the full thing, if that makes sense.
Now is your time to ask any questions before the experiment comes to an end. If you do not want these questions to impact the final experiment, they can be told off the record.
I only really have off the record. I don't even know if there'd be questions or comments. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to ask me?
No, sorry.
Okay. All right, Jack. That is our time. Thank you for your participation in the P.I.E project. We will get back to you later with some notes.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Any point really spooked. All my decisions were more made out of exploration and adventure.
Yeah, oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. No, you go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, yeah, there's multiple, it's basically like a multi-ending game. Each story had multiple endings and different things you could find, so, yeah.
It felt like a pick-your-own-adventure book.
Very much. Yeah, you actually gave, very nice scores, Yeah, did you like the stories?
Even though I was not engrossed, I feel like in the way you had hoped. I like the stories.
Yeah.
The whole time I was picturing how you could do a little what is that kids' scary stories to tell in the dark style pictures for each of the stories?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I did try to fully, ingrain myself the entire time.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
understand it's a bit hard because
the other off-putting thing, which is more of a, I think, early stages or at least me problem, is you're my friend.
yeah.
I know it's your voice.
That is like the one thing that is hard because like I don't want to go up to some random stranger and be like, "Hey, you want to hear a story?" and like
Yeah. I will admit though, every single time you'd laugh was very off-putting because it felt fake. Like right now, this is obviously more genuine, but every single time, and like, it was the creepiest part was the character you're playing.
just
Because
just the way I chuckled.
not just the way you laughed, but just the way you sort of, the whole idea of the character, I felt like had a fake niceness to them, and you could feel the fake niceness.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If so I got like a voice changer app and but it didn't work. It's probably because it was like a free shitty version. But it was supposed to give my voice like a robotic sound to it, so the character wasn't meant to sound human. That probably would have added to it a bit, but the stupid voice app just didn't work, so that's annoying. But I hope you enjoyed either way.
There was only one. I don't want to be like this, so there was one period of time where I felt like the story, there was just one slight change you could make, and it could be even better.
Which one?
The waiting room one.
Mm-hmm. What would be the change?
And that was the description of the carpet eating you.
Yeah, I misread it. It's actually written differently, but I just had to keep going. What was the difference?
I thought it would mean like the way you were hitting it. I thought you were going to be like, you look and the carpet's like a part of your foot, like it's taking over, like it's almost attached to you, so you can't lift up your feet because it's literally a part of the carpet.
That is actually that's a good note.
Because it's just being suddenly a hand. It felt like a lot of all the stories were trying to be like not direct horror. Then just having it be a hand suddenly puts some kind of supernatural twist on the floor is haunted. Whereas if it's just part of the floor, it's like, what the fuck? Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, no, it was fun stories. Yeah. However, every time you asked me if I had questions, I felt awkward because I didn't really have any questions. I was just going with the flow, man.
Yeah. No. It's good. Those are just there to see if anyone would say anything. A bit of what I wrote was like, improvise. See if they say anything. See if anything happens. If they have any questions, like try and like play around and say something. But yeah, that was just they're just kind of there for fun. But like yeah, if yeah, it is just there to see if anyone says anything really.
How many people have you done so far?
Literally only you.
Oh, I was.
Yep.
And you even got my name wrong at some point.
I don't know why my tongue went all weird and I said it wrong. I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, reading can be hard.
Oh yeah, because I'm reading a script, right? So there are multiple times where I'll like, and I have dyslexia, so like I'll read things incorrectly, or like my tongue will be weird and I'll pronounce things stupid. That I know your name, Jack. That was just me. That was my tongue.
I know. I'm fucking with you saying you
did. That was my tongue being stupid. I said. Awesome. All right.
How many people do you have tonight?
Well, I was supposed to have someone, but then they flaked out on me.
Wuss.
Yeah. Josh wants to do his on Monday, and then I've got my friend Rodrigo tomorrow. He wants to do his late afternoon. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
so it's very messy. I wish I had like
It did go a lot quicker than the 50 minutes that you had said.
Oh no, it was never gonna be 50 minutes long.
Okay.
Like I had a timer for 30 minutes. I just wrote 50 minutes so that people would like section off that time so that they wouldn't get like interrupted by anything.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I always thought when you said 50 minutes, it was going to be 50 minutes. I
No.
don't think you ever directly said 30, did you?
Oh no, I did say 30. I think
Are you just dumb?
maybe maybe I accidentally said 50 and my tongue twisted. I've got the recording. I can go back and check.
I'm
It was
also looking at the consent form.
Oh yeah, the consent form says 50 because it's meant to like be a sectioned off amount of time, even though the
Yeah.
so that so that people just don't interrupt you during that time. It's only 30 minutes long. Um
Okay.
because I feel like if I didn't do that, I would go on forever. uh,
Yeah, as I say, the most actual like unnerving stuff was the outside of the story stuff, which I
mm,
feel like if you want to unnerve people, you should try focusing into more.
yeah, yeah.